Okay, please find a relaxed and comfortable posture. Keep your back straight as much as you can. And lovingly and kindly close your eyes. Please take few deep long breaths to relax your mind and body. Breathe in and breathe out. Softly and slowly. And feel your breath. If you are having difficult time, if you are having a hard morning, if you are struggling with something, while you are inhaling and exhaling, try to let it go. Please leave everything behind your back. Let's try to focus on this moment. Without carrying, without holding that everything that you are struggling in this moment. Let's try to find peace and balance through this practice. With having that intention, breathe slowly and mindfully. While you are inhaling and exhaling, try to find your peaceful posture, comfortable posture. Now in this moment, with having peaceful mind and body, let's cultivate feelings of love, compassion, kindness towards yourself, towards your loved ones, friends, family members. towards all the living beings. Try to be a loving and kind person to yourself. Feel yourself as your best friend. You are the best friend of yourself. Feel that energy. As a best friend, you are always thinking to take care of yourself mentally and physically. With having that intention, wish to yourself and bless to yourself. May I be content. May I be patient. May I be skillful. May I learn to care for myself with joy and ease. While you are repeating these words, feel the positive energy. Put a beautiful, positive smile on your face. Then you can feel the meanings of these words. As a self-loving kindness practitioner, when you are going through a difficult time, hard day, you are learning to see the positive in the beginning. If you see the positiveness, your mind is always getting healthy and stronger than the negative mind. Therefore, try to continue your self-loving kindness practice with having positive thoughts, feelings towards yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. Now imagine your loved ones, friends, your family members, whoever close to you. Imagine their faces individually. Also, if you want to think somebody especially who's having a difficult time, difficult day, who's struggling these days, focus on that person, send your positive thoughts, your loving thoughts. May my loved ones be well. May they be happy. May they be peaceful. May they be strong and healthy mentally and physically. Now slowly you can continue your practice towards all the living beings. You can use same phrases, same words, and also you can use your own words to continue your practice towards all the living beings without having any conditions. Now bring your attention your difficult ones. If you have anyone that considers a difficult one without having any anger thoughts, try to continue your practice towards your difficult ones. Practicing loving kindness towards difficult ones is our forgiveness practice. Use the same words to practice your loving kindness. Now slowly we can switch our practice to breathing meditation. Take a few peaceful breaths, and also it is perfect time to move your body around, change your posture if you want. Do it mindfully and slowly. And mindfully bring your attention to your breath, your inner and outer breath. Without worrying future or past, pay attention to your breath. If you are struggling with your thoughts, just know I'm having thoughts. Come back to your breath. Breathe in and breathe out mindfully. When you are inhaling, you know that your body is inhaling. When you are exhaling, you know that your body is exhaling. Breathe in mindfully, breathe out mindfully. Now mindfully and gently take a few deep long breaths. Breathe in peacefully, breathe out peacefully. Breathe in, I am in peace, and breathe out, I am in peace. Be happy today, this beautiful morning. You all are here to practice, to learn. You all spend peaceful 30 minutes, productive time with yourself. Therefore, appreciate this moment, appreciate your practice, appreciate your dedication. Without having that appreciation, make a wish to yourself to apply this practice every day. At least 2-3 minutes. May peace be with you. May all the living beings be well, happy and peaceful. Thank you so much. Slowly open your eyes. Okay, let's start our chanting. Page number 4. You can listen to the chanting. Also, you can follow us. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Sanghaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya dhammeno upajitva nirucchanti tesang upasamo sukho sabbe satta Aveyo sabbe satta abhyapajja hontu aniga hontu sabbe satta sukhi attanam pariharantu Mano pubbangama dhamma Mano setta mano maya Manasace paduttena Bhasati va karoti va Mano pubbangama dhamma Mano setta mano maya Manasace pasannena Sati va karoti va Mind is the forerunner of states. Mind is chief. Mind made other. If with a corrupted mind, one should neither speak or act, separate follows thoughts by that, as does the wheel follow the ox's foot. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind is chief. Mind made other. If with a clear and confident mind, one should neither speak or act. Happiness follows thoughts by that, as one shadow that illuminates. We believe in generosity towards others. We believe the skillful, noble path is marked by generosity. We believe in benevolence. Think generously, speak generously, act generously. We believe generosity is a part of our spiritual practice, and this practice allows us accepting and forgiving. We believe extending generosity to ourselves and others is a My wish, may I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, guide for those who have lost their way, a shield for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger,
a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all who need. By means of the spiritorious deed, may I never turn with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I take in life.
Okay, good morning everyone. How are you all? Happy to see you. And also, I just wanted to listen to your chanting. So you all chanted really well. So I wanted to enjoy that. So usually I just chanting, so I didn't have time to listen to you. So I'm inviting you all to our chanting group. So we used to have a chanting group. We practice every Saturdays after meditation. So we didn't start it yet. So Todd also led the chanting group, and so we want to start it soon. So if you love to come to the chanting group, we are just practicing chanting, so you can come and can just enjoy the chanting. So you did really well. Thank you so much. So because it is not your language, it's a different language. So I want to appreciate that. So today I have a question for you. If somebody is coming to you in front of you without any reason, he or she just insulting and yelling and scolding at you, what do you do?
Ignore.
Okay, can you ignore it? Okay, just run. Okay, that's a good one. Anything that you do? Yeah, okay. You can do that also. Are you okay? Are you fine? You can ask that also. So, why I'm asking this question? So, time to time, this happened to us out of nowhere. Sometimes the people, there are toxic people and difficult people just around you, and they are making your day miserable without any reason. And maybe you have experienced the question what I ask you. People come to you and just yelling at you, insulting you, telling certain things without any reason. So I have experienced the same thing. There's one incident happened almost 6 years ago. I would love to share with you. Maybe some of you have heard that from me. So this is my 21 year as a monk. So when I think about that life as a monk, last 21 years, I can't see any difficult people in my life. So I think I'm lucky to have not any difficult ones. So I'm grateful for that. So when I practice loving kindness towards difficult ones, I can imagine anybody that who gave me a hard or difficult time. So I don't have that feeling to send that my loving kindness towards any difficult ones. I don't have, like sometimes, maybe most, if you have somebody that difficult for you, when you practice loving thoughts towards that one, you are not ready to do that. You do not want to do that. Am I right? Yeah, sometimes, but you are just doing, you are trying so hard to continue your practice toward that difficult one. So I don't know, because I don't have that experience. So therefore, but even though when you are going to listening to the life, when you are going to read life of the Buddha had a difficult one. He was Buddha's cousin. He tried to kill Buddha several times. He gave a really difficult, hard time towards Buddha. So, but it was a good object for you, but to Buddha to practice, continue his teachings. Therefore, whenever you see that difficult one, you can think as a teacher. So we are always saying that, but it is not easy to think that way. So what happened to me 6 years ago before I come here? I think that time I was around 24 or 23. I was teaching in my monastery for 5 years. Uh, thus, we had very senior teachers, close to 35, 40, 45, 50. And there was a quite young teachers, same my age, 20, 21. So there was a young teacher, he was 20 or 21, and I was 23. And he's very interesting, that young teacher. He's a monk. So he didn't follow the schedule really well, and he's not. As a teacher, if you go to a job, you should have to there on time, not on time, before 5-10 minutes early to start your work. Of course, as a teacher, we have to go to my class early. We have to start that lesson, and I have to prepare for the class. He's not like that. He always late. He just ignore, and he didn't pay attention. He was kind of careless teacher. So that our principal always, he was really mad at him. He tried to advise him. He tried to fix that his bad behaviors, but he couldn't. He didn't even listen to anybody. But he just continued. There are many people, including monks, do the same. So, however, I was a good friend to him, and one time he came to my room. We have a 20 minutes break during our teaching. So I was having my tea, having a fun time in my room, having a tea, having a moment. Then he came to my room, and I said, "Why don't you fix that the behaviors? Why can't you?" Come to class early, and because our teacher, our principal, he's not okay with you. I was trying to help him, very friendly way. I was very friendly, and I was trying to help him. If you have heard from this story from me, you know what happened next. He was absolutely mad at me. He was so mad at me. He started to yell at me. When somebody is angry, they are not using nice words, of course. He was a monk, but he used all the nasty words towards me. So I was like, okay. Then I couldn't even talk. He was it was like firing. He was like talking, yelling at me, and I was just listening to him. I was, okay, why don't you leave so we can talk later? He didn't even leave my room. So I tried to push him and try to close the door because I don't want to continue the conversation. He didn't even let me to close the door. I think later on, maybe one of my friends came and tried to settle the problem. Then he just left the room. Until that day, he didn't talk to me until I come to here. So this happened, I think 2017, around November or October. So I left the country 2018 January. Until that day, he didn't talk to me. Then he thought I moved here because of him. Actually not. He thought that. Then, but I tried to explain to him, I moved here because Bhante Assaji asked me, so I want to come here. He couldn't let go the moment. I was so kind to him, but he wasn't. So it was stuck in his mind so much. And what I did actually after I moved here, I text him, I moved here not because of you. Don't worry what happened. I just totally forgot it. So just continue what you are doing. And then last year in around October, I was in Michigan, our Bhante's teacher's temple in Detroit, and we were doing some temple stuff, and I got a text message from him. What was that text message? He is still worrying. He said, I'm really sorry what happened. This happened almost 5 years ago. Still he is thinking about it. He couldn't let it go. I said, oh my God, you are still thinking about it? He's holding that so much. Imagine 5 years, I don't know, even think about it. He's still thinking about it. He couldn't let it go. Then I just text him and I said, don't worry, I'm not thinking about it. So I try to explain to him. So it is very interesting experience for me, because I try to help that person in a good way, but out of nowhere he was so mad at me. So, but I try to stay positive and calm. There are some people come to you and do the same thing. They want to see that you are hurt, That's their intention. They want somebody try to yell at you the right way. Try to put a civil mad so much because you are just smiling. Try to put a nice smile on your face. And do not show that person that your sadness, that your negativeness. Try to have that positive intention or expressions within yourself. That you can do in first place in order to manage the situation. There's a very famous story that happened to Buddha. One time a person came to Buddha, he did the same thing without any reason, yelled at Buddha, insulting and said all the nasty words. Then if you know the story, later on, Buddha didn't say anything and he asked, if somebody comes to your home, of course you prepare a good meal, you want to treat that person really well. Somebody, they do not eat anything. They just come to your home and just stay a little while, they left. There plenty of food on your table. What you do, of course you are going to eat, because you do not want to waste your food. Then Buddha asked that person, if somebody come to your home, if they do not eat that your food, what you do? He said, of course I'm going to eat that food. Buddha said, yes, I'm doing the same thing right now because you treated me really well with your foods, with your nasty words. I'm not going to accept that. Just eat that your food. So that is teaching us to eat what he or she is offering to you. So I'm always thinking we are humans. We tend to remember what happened in the past. We tend to remember what happened during the day, all the negative things. Then what we do, whenever we think about those situations, we keep feeding our mind with that all the bad negative thoughts. So we are using our 5 senses, our eye, ear, nose, mouth, and all our 5 senses we are using, and we keep feeding our negative mind, that you don't see that positiveness in you. Whenever somebody's yelled at you, after later on, when you are thinking, keep thinking, you keep feeding that your negative mind. So like whenever somebody comes to you and yell at you without any reason, try to find that first one. Try to apply a smile. Try to find positive emotions, and then try to remain calm. And also maybe he needs some help. Like ask, is that everything okay? Do you need any help? Maybe you can try to help him. If it is not working well, you can try to leave the moment. That's what I tried to did with that my friend. I said I tried to leave the moment, but he didn't let me to do that. But later on, however, it happened. So if you are trying to stay around the moment, so it is not gonna solve, because an argument, if you are in an argument, it is never gonna end, because the both people are trying to express their emotions, feelings, thoughts. It's gonna end up with having something terrible to both of you. So therefore, if somebody giving you a hard time, try to stay positive, try to stay negative, try to find all the good moments that you practice, and try to think that moment it is as a teaching moment. So there's a in this book. It's called How to Focus by Thich Nhat Hanh. It has a nice paragraph. It's called A Clear Mind. I'm going to read you. Please listen to this paragraph. Meditation is not to avoid problems or run away from difficulties. We do not practice to escape. We practice to have enough strength to confront problems effectively. To do this, we must be calm, fresh and solid. That is why we need to practice the art of stopping. When we learn to stop, we become calmer and our mind becomes clearer like clear water after the particles of mud have settled. So we need to learn how to stop. So when you approach into a stop sign, so we stop. Otherwise, you might get a ticket. So I remember years ago I was practicing to drive. So one of police officer who's come to the temple, he taught me to drive, and I was driving in Krishna Lake. I didn't even focus well. I just ran through a red light, so I was fine. But he was a police officer. He said, "Did you see what you did?" I said, "No, I didn't see that." Then he said, "You just ran. You didn't pay attention to the red light." Then sometimes it happened to us. We don't know how to stop. So this practice is teaching you to stop, take a moment, take a break. So therefore, try to find that calm and peace and balance. Try to learn to stop, take a breath, and it can help you to overcome those negative or hard moments. Okay, so now I'm done. So if you have any disagreements, comments, thoughts, please.
Yeah, I came early and there was some homeless person or whatever it was, and she was looking at the statue out here. She said, "What does that statue mean?" And I've been coming here a long time. I have no idea what it means. You know, she says, "Well, it's a half-naked woman standing in front of a church." And I says, "Okay." And
She was mentioning the tall one or the
the big statue.
Okay, the white big one.
I had no idea what it was, you know, and I thought that I should know. If I'm coming here for a couple of years, I should know what it is, but I didn't. And I couldn't explain it to her. And she says, "What kind of pagans are inside there?" And I said, "I don't see anybody except monks that are trying to make the world a better place. But should I feel bad because I don't know what a statue means for a place I've been coming to for 2 years? I guess it's the question."
Don't feel bad because even though I don't know how to explain really well, I do know what is the statue mean. So Todd can explain. He knows really well about this statue. Don't feel bad because it is just a statue, and also it has a meaning. So we are learning every day. So maybe that person, he or she doesn't know what is that mean. So maybe later on you can explain to that person what is the statue mean. Even though,
No, if I knew, I would have done that, but I didn't.
and even though I remember this really fun experience that I had. One time, also a homeless man, not homeless man, he was a drunk person. He just called me, "Hey, Buddha man, come here." I was like, who's calling me a Buddha man? So after meditation, I was looking around. Again, he called me, "Hey, Buddha man." Then he asked the same question, "What is this statues?" Then later on, he asked me for a drink. I said, "No, I'm not drinking." So I will come to Alice later. You have a question?
Yeah, I want to know. Did you get a ticket?
What was that? No, I didn't get a ticket.
How did you get a ticket?
Can you tell me, tell everybody about that statue?
Yes, absolutely. So, in Mahayana Buddhism, there's Bodhisattva who is striving for enlightenment, Avalokiteshvara, which means the one who sees the prize of the world. And originally was a male, as it moved, it represents all of the compassion of all beings in the past. Is personified in Avalokiteshvara. So it's that image of that Bodhisattva moved to China and Japan, it became female. It's actually an emanation of the Amida Buddha. You don't have to know that. And so you will see statues like that, and she will hold a vial of water. It's supposed to be holding a willow tree branch. So the water is the elixir of life, and she waters the willow tree and spreads it around the world to save healing. So strictly speaking, it isn't a Mahayana story. It isn't a Theravada deity, but it is a Mahayana deity. And it's a symbolizes all the compassion that is existed in the world for all humanity.
So thank you, Todd. If you have any more question, please ask Todd because he has a he has a good knowledge about those statues. So I hope you learn something about this statue also. So if somebody asks you what is that statues, please explain. And if somebody asks you who's inside, don't tell there's a nasty monks inside. Tell all the good monks there. So I hope you learned something today. And so that my point is, whenever somebody is trying to destroy your day, put a smile, try to bring all the positive moments to you and don't let them to destroy your peacefulness. So it is a practice, try to practice it. So thanks so much for coming. So do we have any new ones today, new people? Okay, I figured it out. So thank you for coming. What is your name? Karma? Okay, interesting name. Thank you for coming.